Jai Baba to you all. It was so fixed that Jack Small had to give a talk and I was not to come here at all. But I do not know, after my little rest, I thought of just going round and looking at the different cabins, the meeting hall and the registration room, just by the way. So Jack Small met me here and asked me whether I would talk for a little while. I said, yes, I'll be ready, I will do it. And that's why I've come here. And it has been a surprise visit, as much for you as it is for me. In our life, there are many things we design. And according to the design, we just proceed and do things. It is not really bad, because we plan our things and go along the path of our life and come across happiness and unhappiness. We sometimes feel very happy, sometimes miserable. But we should remember that all our planning, all our designs are really man-made. They are not Baba-made, they are not God-made. Baba, who is the personification of God, is always spontaneous. He has to be spontaneous. His work is like the waves on the ocean. We cannot expect a certain wave to flow in a certain direction or to rise to a certain height or to break into so many small waves or ripples. They are all spontaneous. Life is really spontaneous. And Baba's work is spontaneous. That is why the inner work of Meher Baba, about which we heard all our lives from him, and we could see from the symptoms of his face and movements that he was so much suffering inside and doing the inner work of which we had no idea. And many a times we asked him, what is this inner work, Baba, you do? Will you not tell us? Will you not explain us? We have been all the time looking at you and see those symptoms on your face. Sometimes all of a sudden he would seem to be taken ill, no physical ailment at all, and yet suffering so much inside. I have seen him actually rolling on the ground because of that suffering, and for no reason at all that was understandable by me. And the reason was inner, the cause was inner, and the reason was only for the world. And time and again we tried to coincide that at a certain moment on a certain day he seemed to suffer so much that later on we came to know from the news we got from newspapers or from our friends that at certain corner of the world or certain corner of the district or of the country, some persons were suffering very much. Either it was a calamity, it was a disease, it was a dissension, it was a fight, it was something which brought upon a great suffering to human beings. And to alleviate that, probably Baba was suffering here at the same time. This has not happened once, it has happened several times. In the beginning we thought, we got such information and we tried to coincide the two times. Suffering that was taking place at any other distant place, and Baba suffering here, we thought it was a coincidence, we do not know. Although Baba indirectly referred to it and said that I suffered, and we did not much bother about it. But time and again we found that it was really coming true, Coincidence could be in one case, two cases, three cases. How could there be a series of coincidences? One who lives near him had the opportunity and the chance to see this. Others outside, coming, going frequently, infrequently, they had no occasions to observe this at all. Then we asked, what is this, Baba? You really seem to suffer so much for the world, for humanity, to alleviate their suffering. How? Why couldn't you explain us a little what this type of work that you do, which you call inner universal spiritual work? Could we not get an idea? So he would many times avoid. I remember once having pointedly asked him, and he said, you cannot understand that. If I were to really explain to you, it would not be possible for you to grasp at all. Of course, then, getting this answer from him, I did not much dare to ask him, rather to pester him, because I know it is not possible to put in words the way he did the suffering, the way he did the inner universal spiritual work. Now, I sometimes feel that why was it impossible? I do not understand. Now I feel that it is impossible because the work that he does is so spontaneous. It is like the rising waves on the surface of the ocean. Wherever certain impurity or disturbance or suffering arose, this is an example I am giving only about the ocean. Merbaba's ocean is a shoreless ocean. We give comparison to our ocean which has got shores. Supposing there is a rise or a fall anywhere on any part of the ocean, and it was necessary for the waves to go there and put right the disturbance that had taken place. This is just an example. I mean, for us to understand, such anecdotes should not be taken to their bitter ends, and we should not try to challenge and question why the anecdote is like this or like that. The anecdotes are only meant for us to understand the point at issue. So this inner work was done in form of waves. What explanation could Baba ever give? What waves? Where waves? What is the height of the wave? What is the length of the wave? Where has it gone? How many small waves it broke into? How many ripples are there? It is futile for us to ask, to understand. And I today feel that Baba was absolutely very appropriate in saying that whatever I say you are not able to understand. He could have done to a certain extent, but he does not do many things. The avatar really does not give out the actual secrets of the work and the path. That's why Hafiz says, Hanchu namid masho, Waqif nahi is israr ghaib, Bashad andar pardabazi hai penhan, ghamkhor. He says, do not be sorry. Do not get disappointed because you are not acquainted with the secrets of the work of God. But be assured, you are the perfect master. Hafiz, these are his words. You are the perfect master. Bashidandar pardabazi haye pinahan ghamkhor. There are many, many plays that are played behind the curtain, which we are not able to see. Be not disappointed. A day will come when we will know all about it. So be patient. And at another place, Hafiz says, if you have a longing, if you aspire to become united with God, then have the courage of patience. Patience for one to have. Patience. Only a courageous man can have patience. Patience is not for a minute or a 2 or a day or a month or a year. And here we are so much in haste all the time. We are in haste to be born. We are in haste to be educated. We are in haste to marry. We are in haste to beget children, get a job, get a pension, and we are in a haste to die. And complete the course. Everybody wants a course of life. And God says, I am spontaneous. What is the course you have created for yourself? You go on creating it, having the experience of it, suffer, and have the pleasure of it. It is all yours. It is not mine. If you really ask me, if you really ask Baba, it is absolutely spontaneous. You cannot understand now. So I say, keep quiet, bear with me, love me, and obey me. How can I love? I want to see something. How can I see a beautiful girl, I see her face. The face is not ugly. She has got beautiful blonde hair, a nice figure, good set of teeth. I'm attracted by that. Why don't you show me some beauty, Baba? How can I be attracted towards you? But really speaking, Baba's form itself and his face was a great beauty indeed. But I do not know it was enough for all to be prepared to surrender to him, to be prepared to obey him, to be prepared to love him in the way he wanted you to love. So, before we entrust our lives to him, or even after that, matters little, we should try to understand who man is, who God is, who the avatar is. Not only understand, but grasp. And that understanding should reach our heart. How to reach our thought should be transformed into a fixture of our life, into an outlook, which should always be there with us. All our actions, all our thoughts, all our movements should be guided by that outlook all the time. And if we really understand this, who Meher Baba is, the avatar of the age, then I do not think anybody will find any difficulty in having that infinite patience. Why? For the infinite gain. We have to have, even if we have infinite patience, there will be an end to your patience. But the infinite gain you are going to get at the hand of the avatar will have no end at all. So, for the benefit that awaits us, which has no end at all, and in our terms, if I have to be patient for a very, very long time, the time has ended. My patience has to have an end. The result will be really infinite, which has no end. And if both things are compared to each other, I will find that the so-called infinite patience was really not infinite patience. It was patience for a short while compared to the result. So this is the understanding we should have. But because of that, because of the lack of such an understanding, our mind goes on whirling round and round within us and raising many, many questions, and sometimes I try to go at the root of my love for him, my understanding for him, and my conviction for him. But we have to be once and for all convinced what he is and where we are. How long should we?
10 more minutes.
Of course, I am going to give a talk this evening, but for my present talks, I have been given a lease of 10 minutes. So, I cannot exceed my limit. And he has been really very kind because this was the time for his talk, and I have somehow trespassed here. But this trespass was a joy to me, and also from your faces I see that it has been a joy to you. So I have no objection in speaking for 10 minutes more. Meher Baba is God, personification of God. So don't forget that he is also a man. I can think him in terms of God. I can think him in terms of a man. And both put together is avatar. Avatar is not, he is not meant to stay on the seventh plane of consciousness or any high consciousness, any high plane of consciousness, from where he would say things that we really do not understand. But he is supposed to come down. He comes down to our level. But the difficulty with us, that we are all persons, including myself, either drowned in illusion or getting drowned in illusion. And when he comes down to us and extends his hand of help, what happens? We just catch hold of his hand and try to pull him also. So much so that God in his man state, he gets frustrated and finds, I have come to save him, he should catch hold of my hand and I am prepared to draw him out. But he pulls me wholesale. That means to say he would drown himself and also see me drown along with him. So that should not be the case. And what I mean by this is just a sort of an example I give, that we want Baba's help. Baba, you do everything, you do everything. He does. Undoubtedly he does everything. But we have certain responsibilities which we have to fulfill. If I go on striking one hand in the air, no sound is going to come. There must be two hands to strike against each other for the sound to be produced. And then again, do not forget that Baba is God, but he is also man. If he were to bring all the power of God into his man state and give you like this, he can. But how can you take it? Can you take it? I remember once there was a farmer, a very poor farmer in India. He had bought a lottery. He was so poor, you could not imagine that he had borrowed 25 rupees, say $25, from a rich man. His father had borrowed, or probably grandfather had borrowed, and the entire family was going on paying interest month after month and year after year, and he could not pay out the $25 of principal amount at any time, and he was in debt. Such a man somehow bought a lottery, and he got a lottery of 100,000 rupees. He did not know. He received a telegram from the head office where the lottery functioned that you have received a lakh of, we call a lakh of rupees. 100,000 means we call a lakh in India. 100,000 rupees. The moment he could not read the telegram, somebody read to him, and he said, you got 100,000 rupees? 100,000. This man was paying year after year interest on 25 rupees. And when he heard this, absolutely his heart failed and he died on the spot. Sir, you draw my attention. So how do we expect Meher Baba to give us all that? We are not prepared to take it, he is prepared to give. One poet so beautifully says, he says, क्या बताऊं दिल से मिलकर क्या गजब ढाता है दिल, जिस तरह आंधी कोई आती है यूं आता है दिल, अब तो नामे इश्क से भी सख्त घबराता है दिल. He says, I am so much terrified with the mention of the word love, because he tried to overdo things, and he aspired and longed and asked God to give him so much of love. So he says, क्या बताऊं दिल से मिलकर क्या गजब ढाता है. What shall I tell you, sir? How much I had to suffer when that infinite heart I could see coming over to me, to overpower me. That means to give me the experience of the infinite heart. My heart is small, individual heart, and all the time I was aspiring for it. And God one day tried to try me, and the infinite heart slowly approached. And do you know how it came? It came like a cyclone. How can a man ever stand before a cyclone? We ask many things, sir, in our ignorance. And God pardons us for our ignorance, for our obstinacy. And yet, again and again, He says, wait, wait, wait and wait, become powerful. Expand your heart. Make it so big as you will be able to accommodate the universal heart. Until that time, do not desire anything. I know your trouble. I know what you want. I know what you are, with what you are going to be benefited. Leave it to me because I know. And I say by my mouth, Baba, I am surrendered. But no, I always desire and I want Baba to do this and do that for me, and then make him suffer and you yourself suffer. Understanding, therefore, is a great thing. Love one should definitely have, but love does not give us the entire understanding. Understanding is knowledge, and love is something really substance. It has to be there. Understanding, love is like water, and understanding is like a river, the winding of a river. If we have vast sheet of water, what is the good? We can't derive any benefit of it. I go and stand before the ocean. Can I drink a drop of the water? No. I see the ocean, but of what good? That water has to be purified. It is to be stored somewhere. It is to be channeled. It is to be brought home, or some common reservoir has to be there from which I can go and draw and take it and drink it. So love is the substance, love is the water. But it is to be channeled through a river, like the winding of a river. Only love and no understanding. Love is like a vast sheet of water. The windings of a riverbed. I mean riverbed, if you don't understand river. Is like understanding. But having no love and only understanding is a river without water. Is a riverbed without water. To have love and understanding is a river with water. So we have to have both. I cannot remain satisfied. I can be satisfied for myself. I have love for Meher Baba. I have the joy. I derive the joy out of it. And he loves me. I feel that I love him. I am very happy. But a thought comes to me that this happiness which I feel and get today, shall I not share with my brother, with somebody else? This thought is bound to come. And then you will ask, oh, if he is a man, he has never known about Baba, he has got no understanding, he has got no love, how shall I get him that understanding? Then I will have to have a great understanding about Meher Baba. Not only that, only understanding will not be enough. A conviction of that understanding. An unchallenged, an unassailable conviction. Conviction with which you can play your life with. That conviction should be dearer to you than your own life if ever a time comes to give up your life. At the altar of that conviction, you must be prepared to do so. And that is a conviction. And that conviction outlasts your life. His body is here today, tomorrow it is bound to fall. It will not come here to live forever and all the time. So this understanding is very necessary. And one gets it. Yes, one gets it. But one has to take Meher Baba very seriously. Just as I say, Meher Baba is God and Meher Baba is man. As a man, you can treat him as your friend, you can play with me, he is to play with us all. He can be your friend, he can be your guide, he can be your teacher, he can be your parents, he can be anything, mother, father to you. But don't forget that he is God. And when you think that he is God, you must take him seriously. Jai Baba for the moment. There are only 6 glasses of water here. I wish there were 7 to coincide with the 7-up I have been drinking. To begin with, I would wish you Jai Baba. Jai Baba. We have been greeting each other so often. In our letters we mention Jai Baba. We wish each other Jai Baba so much and so on and so often. And at least I had never thought about this as to what it actually means. Sometimes a word or 2 words or a sentence which is so often repeated becomes so familiar that we do not even bother to find out what it really means. So Jai means triumph, success. Baba is Baba. We know who Baba is. And yet really we do not know who he is. Jai means success. So do we wish success to Baba? Do we wish triumph to Baba? He is always triumphant. He is himself success. So what is the meaning of this Jai Baba when we say Jai Baba? We don't wish that Baba be triumphant, but we wish that his work be triumphant. His work for the benefit of humanity, for which exclusively the avatar takes birth once between 700 and 1400 years. We pray. We cannot pray for him, we can pray for his work because the work pertains to the humanity, entire humanity, and it is carried out and done in illusion. That is all for Jai Baba. Now let us try to understand what this Avatar Meher Baba means. Avatar, Meher, Baba. Now let me say that Meher is his personal name. It was usually a Meherban, but later when he was called as Meher Baba, that Meherban was changed into Meher Baba. Baba is a term of respect. It is just a prefix. It doesn't mean anything. It means something like father, like a great man. Anybody is called Baba in India. When they say Baba, Baba, it can mean anything. It can mean teacher, master, a senior friend, or father. So Meher is his personal name, Baba is a prefix of request, and Avatar is his spiritual authority. That is the spiritual status. Avatar, Meher Baba, all put together becomes what we know as the avatar of the age. Now, we have also understood the meaning of the word avatar. Nowhere in no religion this avatar is really so much dealt with as in Hinduism. And even Hinduism, in their book, Krishna's book, Avatar Krishna's book, Gita, it has not been so much elaborated and explained as Baba has done. I should say, Baba has regenerated the meaning of the word avatar. And even, now let us confine ourselves only to the concept of the avatar, let alone the experience of the avatar. It's a far cry for us. Far cry means we are destined for it at some time or the other, to get into his bosom, eternal heart. But for the present, we shall now try to see what this concept exactly means. Some time ago I was asked, what does this avatar mean in reference to God? I said the word avatar is more comprehensive than even the word God. Of course, God is the substance of everything, and it is from God everything has emanated. But the position of the avatar is such that he is none else but the avatar. In relation to the illusion, God remains always disconnected. God is said to be connected. We really do not understand. But the same God, in the form or in the aspect of his being the avatar, is connected with the entire illusion. And God keeps himself absolutely aloof. Of course, I would say really it's a secret that Baba has revealed, because during his lifetime he used to say, all these people of the world who pray to God. Where does that prayer go? Of course it must go to God. Baba says it comes to me, it comes to the avatar, it goes to the avatar, and he has to dispense with it. God keeps himself scrupulously alone because he is the father of all. He's gone too old now, very ancient. We can say he has almost retired from illusion. And given his charge to the avatar. Before the avatar came, God was in charge. And after the avatar came, everything has been given in charge of the avatar, and avatar is none else. He is not any other at all. He is the same, but in his aspect as the avatar. So the avatar word includes God and creation, both put together. Whereas God is God. So I say, God as God is not man. That means to say, well, we shall get to the meaning a little later. God as God is not man. And the same God as man is not God. He is only the avatar, who is God and man at one and the same time, who brings down God to become man and raises up man to become God. In these few sentences, according to me, lie the spiritual status of the avatar and also his entire work. This is the game going on from time immemorial. It will go on till the endless time. Time, of course, doesn't exist in the real sense. It may exist as nothing. God as God is not man, means God as God is God conscious, he is not man conscious. Same God, when he comes as man, when he becomes man, he is only man conscious, he is not God conscious at all. Now we are all men, we are our body conscious, we are men conscious, we are world conscious, but we are not God conscious. So same God as man is not God conscious, he is the only, this is a very unique position. And one has to understand, for all times, there is no time when this avatar could be excluded at all. And the rest of all the spiritually advanced men, they come and go until they reach perfection. And when they reach perfection, some of them, when they become the perfect masters and they give up the body, then they are completely disconnected with illusion. It is said that illusion is also eternal. Illusion is the shadow of reality, but as long as reality is, illusion is. There is one difference. Reality is not dependent upon illusion, but illusion is dependent upon reality. And besides, reality is absolute, and illusion is only eternal. So this is the only power that balances absolute God with eternal illusion. How much strength, let alone all the experiences, I shall keep aside love, I shall keep aside obedience, I shall only take intellect. Some say, we do not know how to love, Baba, we do not have any love. I cannot obey, I refuse to obey, I don't want to obey. well, matters little. If you do not want to obey, you say you do not have love, I would not bother. Just try to understand what avatar is. At least, will you identify yourself with this concept or not? If you thoroughly understand. If you don't understand, discard it, throw it away. But if you really understand, then very honestly you have to identify yourself with it. And what is strength? All knowledge, all power and all bliss, these are the qualities of God. These are the qualities of the avatar. They are, when I say God, I mean really the avatar, unless I specifically say that he is not the avatar. All knowledge, all power and all bliss, even if we accept this concept, what is source of strength? This is we cannot imagine. Forget all our weaknesses, forget all our strength, forget all our love, forget all our obedience. Only hang on and stick on to this, but very tenaciously and for all times. And I'm sure the love and obedience, everything will come. Of course, eventually love is a gift from the master to the disciple, and obedience is a gift from the disciple to the master. It will come. First, try to understand this. If somebody is serious, when someone comes and says, I do not have the love for Meher Baba, but why have you come here? I want to know something, I may be curious. Yes. Then you take this and identify yourself with it. Identify yourself with the qualities and try to find out what it is. And you will be greatly, greatly helped in your life. The question of love and obedience may be a far cry for the moment, but they will automatically come to you. Now, second thing is obedience. I'm going to the thinnest point of intellect to just grasp the word, how comprehensive it is and how powerful it is. Then go a little further, keep aside the matter of love, only take obedience. But I can't obey, I don't want to obey, I don't want to love. Well, then I would say that love is the gift of the master. Unless he gives me the gift, I don't have it. Obedience also I am not prepared to obey. I am unable to obey. I am too weak. I don't accept it. I am not able to obey at all. Well, but there is one thing in you. If you want to know something about Meher Baba, if you are really curious, then what happens? Then you have to find a way and means by which I will be thoroughly able to understand him, and then I am not prepared to obey. But you can take a decision in your life. When the decision is entirely taken by your free will, it doesn't need even love. To begin with, it doesn't need obedience. But I take a decision, I decide today to obey. Well, if I am really very firm, then Baba says that it is even greater than love. It would become a gift to the master from the disciple. But it is not easy. It is difficult, but it's not impossible. And why I say go the other way around, because the man says, I do not know love, I cannot have love. Baba always says you must have love. Unless you love me, you will not be able to understand my book, the most important book God speaks. So go the other way around. And if you decide for yourself today, and never to change your decision, I'm sure it will lead you to the same center. It will be a different way. You set aside that matter of love altogether, because you cannot align yourself with it, and just obey in the sense. Then the person asks, what shall I do? What shall I obey? You might have stayed with Meher Baba, who was in body at that time, and now he is not there. And what shall I do? Whom shall I obey? Honestly, I tell you, it may be to a certain extent right for the questioner to say this, but it does not stand my questioning. Christ was not there. Saint Francis loved Christ. How many years later? Today we have millions of followers of Christ. They love Christ. Did they feel the necessity of the Christ, or they want the Christ in the body to appear before them? But just because Baba happened to be here 7 or 8 years before, and there are many persons who had seen him, they say now that he has given up the body, he has gone away, and to whom shall we obey? There are very few things to be obeyed. books may be so many pages, God speaks 300 pages, and the discourses 500 pages, whatever it is. There are fundamental things you have to find out. The extract of what shall I do? How shall I lead my life by which Baba will be pleased? This is a simple question to be asked. And we can get from the discourses. We can get from the persons who have a long experience with Baba. We can get the answer within our heart. Baba has said the same thing all religions practically say. With a little light, a clarity, but which you have to understand. Just a few things. Our ego is the greatest hindrance to us. But what are the different ramifications of this ego, which you have to tackle? It is our craving, it is our lust for money, lust for woman, everything that we do selfish. These are the few things you have to see in our life, and just keep him pleased. And I don't think anybody will find difficulty. If he finds it difficult, then matters little. He should be sincere to the core of his heart. If he is sincere and if he tries his best, then Baba always helps.